Hey, welcome to the Stability Stretch Flow Series. I am Ari Weller of Philosophit, and in a moment I am going to be arriving back into that body to guide you through a continuous three-dimensional lengthening and strengthening series. You can find a lot of these moves we're going to do on our Philosophit YouTube channel. So a couple things, have some fun, don't forget to breathe, and let's expand your body and mind at the same time in 3 dimensions. Let's get started with some breath work. Taking your left hand onto your belly and your right hand onto your chest. These are going to be belly breaths, so shamelessly breathe to your left hand on an inhale and exhale through your mouth, continuously blowing your breath out until there is nothing left. Inhaling left hand, exhaling, pulling the belly button all the way back. Good. We're going to be working in a set of 4s, and everything that we're doing today, sets of 4 reps. Good. And breathing all the way out. Good. We're going to be moving into joint mobility to continue the warm-up, shaking your chin down to your chest, moving your neck in 3 planes of motion, looking up with your eyes and chin to chest, looking down, inhaling on the up, and exhaling as you go down, only moving your neck at this point, up and down. Don't push into any pain, just be comfortable. Good. That is the forward and back plane. Now we're going to go side to side, right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. You can inhale to the right and exhale to the left. The shoulders staying completely relaxed. Everything is completely relaxed except for the action of moving your head from side to side. And now we're going to be moving into a rotational plane, looking all the way over your right shoulder and looking over your left shoulder, taking your eye to the furthest corner of the eye socket in the direction you're turning. Good. Inhaling to the right and exhaling to the left. Again, only the neck is moving in the 3rd transverse or rotational plane. Let's go to the shoulders, fingertips on top of shoulders, big circles with the elbows up and around. You're going to inhale, extend your spine and lift up. Exhale, come around the circle. Inhaling, lift, and exhale. With these circular movements, we kind of get multiple planes of motion at one time. Good, and then we're going to reverse and change direction. Let's inhale up again. Exhale as the elbows go down. Inhale as they come up. Good. To move around in circles in the shoulder joint feels good and good for you. Nutrition, movement nutrition. Here we go, arms out to the side. We're going to do the Egyptian. Right palm up and then left palm up. You can see I'm rotating my right shoulder in and then the left shoulder rotates in. So one arm is twisting in, one arm is twisting out, but notice how both palms end up still facing the ceiling. You're wringing yourself out. You can inhale to the right and exhale to the left. Good. And going to the wrists, bringing the wrists together and moving in a circular motion around, inside, thread them in, and up and around, trying only to keep the wrists together the entire time, trying not to touch your knuckles or your fingers and change direction. Learned this one from a gymnast years ago. Really keeping the space in your joints is great for all of you people out there that spend a lot of time on a computer. Just a few of us nowadays. Good. And then we're going to move now into an undulation, pouring your head down towards the ceiling, and then inhale, lift your head, lift your chest all the way up and out of there. So talk about nourishment. This is nourishment for your spine. As you exhale and curl your spine down and inhale and arch your spine all the way up. Keeping your knees soft and bent. Slight engagement in the core to protect your back here. And then we're going to move into the rotational movement for the spine. Right hand down, left hand down in front. So it's like you're pulling and twisting your spine, getting a little help from your arms. Exhaling each twist. Inhaling short before and exhaling into the twist. So let's split our feet, right foot forward, left foot back. You're going to exhale, pour to the left as you stick your right hip out with that right knee bent. Get a nice side stretch all the way from your armpit all the way down to that right hip. So trying to maximize our joint mobility work here, doing multiple things together. Switching the stance, left foot forward, back heel up, pouring to the right as you come up and over your hips, sticking that left hip out to the side or shifting your hip to the side. Great. It's kind of like the John Travolta move. So hands on your hips. For more disco moves, we're going to do the hip circles. Good. So inhaling and exhaling around the circle. You can imagine that you're tracing a hula hoop all the way around your body and reverse directions for going to your left now. Inhaling and exhaling. Make the movement small if you have any back pain. Big if you feel good. Going down to your knees. Let's get some circular movement down to the knees. So you not only get a circular movement in the knee area, but you're also getting circles where the leg meets the ankle and where the leg meets the hip here. It's a bit of a gyroscope going on when you circle your knees like this. And coming all the way up. And balancing on one foot. Raise that knee up and then ankle circles. Circling the ankle 4 times in one direction and 4 times in the other direction. Maintaining balance. As cool as I'm doing it. Good. And then left leg lifts up. Holding the knee up and circling the ankle around here. 4 times. And then 4 times the other way. So we are moved from head down to ankles and toes and joint mobility. And we are ready to do some stability stretching now. Going down into an all fours position, we're going to be doing the baby rock back exercise first. All fours. Then you're going to lift your fingertips up, drive your heels into the ground, and sit back towards your heels with your butt. So you're resisting the sit back with your arms. Exhaling as you sit back. Inhaling as you come forward. Good. And that being the 4th one. Then you're going to take your right hand above your left hand, take your right ankle above your left ankle. This is the side baby rock back, pulling on that right hand against the floor to activate the very right side of your torso that you are stretching out. Exhale as you sit back. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale, sitting back. And inhaling forward. Switching sides, taking your left hand above your right, fingers face sideways, left ankle over right ankle, and poke the hip out as you sit back. You are thinking more sideways instead of down towards the floor here. So opening up the space between all of your left ribs and down towards the love handle area of your left hip. And same thing there, exhaling as you sit back. Coming back, we're going to this time, if you need to do this, you're going to use a pillow to sit back onto your heels. If you don't need the pillow to do so, don't use it. Take your left hand and place it between your groin out in front of you, your right hand on your back with your palm facing up. You're going to rotate to the right on an inhale, exhale, come forward. Inhale, rotating. Exhale, rotating back forward. Inhale and exhale. Notice I am looking at my hand the entire time, so I'm not moving my neck. I'm just moving my thoracic or mid-spine. The reason for sitting back onto the pillow is to lock the lumbar into place as well. So the only thing you're trying to move, inhaling up, exhaling down, is that thoracic spine. Very, very tight place on most people's bodies, which is why we get so injured in the neck and low back, because we've lost this movement ability in the mid-back. Good. You can get rid of your pillow. We may need it in a little while. Next one is the inner thigh rock back series. So great inner thigh stretch if you maintain the right position in your pelvis. So take your right foot out to the side, your left hand just to check your low back so that you're neutral. You don't want to round your low back, and then you're going to start to sit back, sticking your tush up, pulling on those hands a little bit. Exhale, sitting back. You should feel this in the right inner thigh and down the inside of that right leg. Exhale, sitting back, and inhale, coming back forward. Switching sides. Left foot goes to the side. Keep the outside of that foot, or the pinky toe side of that foot, down on the ground. Try not to lift that side of the foot up as you sit back. And again, think of your pelvis tilting up as you sit back instead of tucking under. Exhale, sitting back. Inhale, coming back forward. All right. Should be feeling good about now. We're going to grab a towel, a little hand towel, and place your right knee on top of that towel and come into a half kneeling position with your left foot forward. Take your right arm up towards the ceiling, driving that right knee forward against that towel. Bring the weight of your pelvis and upper body forward and then back. Inhale as you come forward and lifting your spine up. Exhale as you go back. All the while driving that knee into the towel. Good. One more time. Coming forward. So you should feel this in your right quad and hip flexor. You're going to move your foot behind you out to the side, and you're going to now do the same move but side bending as you come forward. This will get a little bit more of the inside of that thigh and hip flexor. You get a little bit more action in the psoas muscle, which is that deep core muscle in your stomach. Pouring sideways as you come forward and then coming out. And so that was the second plane of motion, and now the third, moving into a rotational pattern. Left arm forward, exhale as you move into it, driving that knee still from the back, the right knee, driving forward. Couple more rounds. Same stretch in a different plane of motion than the last two. Trying to get all planes when you're stretching. It's the way we move as human beings. We do live in 3 dimensions. Next one is a shoulder one we're going to sneak in here. Take your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Push the hand and wrist against one another and resist the pressure or the movement of the hand going all the way to the outside of your left hip. This one will come down the outside of your right shoulder and into your right upper back. One more time, exhaling, so the hand and wrist are resisting against one another all the while. Great. Okay, we're going to change sides. We're going to move the towel over a little bit and then put the left knee on it. We're going to go through the same 4 exercises on the second side. Left arm up towards the ceiling, driving your left knee forward, and then driving it forward as you move your weight of your body back to where you started from. Forward and back. Inhaling forward, which helps to lift you up off your hips. And exhaling back. Great. Second round, second plane of motion. Move your back foot to the side and pour sideways up to your right as you come forward. So it's both a forward and a sideways movement simultaneously. Couple more reps. Lift up and over. And out of there. Going to the third plane of motion, readjust your back foot, coming forward and then twisting to your right. So your right chest is moving as far away from your left hip as you can. Good. You're moving your rib cage, not just your right arm, as you move into this twist. And coming out. Now taking that left elbow to the outside of your right hip, and here you can really see the resistance of the hand and the arm against one another. You want to let the right hand win, but you want to resist with that left hand to get that left back and shoulder stretch here. Great, we're going to come up to a standing position now. We're going to still use the towel that we just had under our knee, but we're going to use it under our heel now. We're going to put right heel on there, left foot behind you, and slightly turn to the side. Your knee needs to be bent the entire time as you exhale and pour down towards your right toes. This is a hamstring stability stretch, what I like to call hamstrong. It's hamstrung because I am pulling my heel back into that towel continuously as I pull forward. This is not a relaxing exercise for you, the back of your leg. Your back of your leg needs to work. We're going to move into the side plane. I'm going to reach out to the side away from that right leg that I'm stretching, which is going to access the medial or inner fibers of that hamstring. Exhale when you go down. Inhale when you come up. Exhaling down, pushing my hip out, you can see there, and inhaling as you come up. That's the second plane. And now the third plane. Right hand behind your back, palm up, and then reach your left hand to the outside of your right pinky toe. So I'm rotating my torso to the right as I pour my body down on an exhale to the left. Good. Third plane of motion, you're going to access and may feel this a little bit more on the outside of your right hamstring muscle, hamstrung muscle. Changing legs, left heel into the towel, bending it slightly as you're pulling back on the towel, breathing out on the way down, and breathing in on the way up. You can notice I'm doing this little articulation with my arms. One, because I used to be a breakdancer and it looks cool. And two, because it actually creates more flexion and extension. I'm flexing my back there as I come up, along with my hips, and then extending my arms and chest as I come up. It just gives a little bit more stretch throughout the whole body. Second plane of motion, reaching out to the side, inhaling on the way up, exhaling on the way down. This breath movement coordination throughout the entire stability stretch flow series. Never holding your breath. Good. Going into the third plane of motion. Left hand behind your back, palm up. Reaching the right hand to the outside of your left pinky toes. Moving your left shoulder back. Yes, there you can see it. And coming up. Exhale, going down. Inhale, coming up. Moving those ribs left to aid the stability stretch. Good. Great for balance. Okay, we're going to be changing it up a little bit. Find a book that you can fit your foot on. Hardcover is preferred. And hang your toes off the edge. This is a little bit more advanced. If you don't want to do this, you don't need the book. But we're going to do a little hinge exercise for your glutes. You're going to bend your right knee. The back heel is up off the ground. You're going to keep your back completely flat and move into the single leg, better bending hip hinge. Find that on YouTube. Same thing here. I would exhale on the upward part of the movement and inhale, go up and over the leg on the down. Second plane of motion, poking the hip out to the side. Good. Notice that the hands are crossed over the chest. That's the easiest position. If you wanted more challenge, you could put your hands behind your head or your arms extended over the top of your head with the biceps next to your ears throughout, adding more weight to the exercise. Right hand behind your back, third plane of motion. So this looks similar to the hamstrung one, but notice that my right knee is now bent in the front with the foot flat and the back heel is up. So I'm getting into my right butt now as opposed to the right hamstring that I did a minute ago. Exhale, reaching out, inhaling all the way up. Good. Changing sides. Left toes hanging off the edge there. You want the ball of the big toe and the pinky toe, ball of the pinky toe just on the book and the rest of the toes off. Inhaling as you come forward with that flat back into your hinge, and exhale as you come up. Back heel is off the ground. Back knee is also bent. This is that straight forward and back hinge plane of motion right now. And now we'll do the side version. Inhaling and exhaling, poking that left hip out to the side, keeping your knee directly centered over your ankle as you hinge forward. So your knee should not be bending, your knee should be bent and no longer bending. Back heel is up, left hand behind your back, and reach out for like a speck on the floor or a piece of lint or something out there, like you're stretching for it, with that back staying neutral and flat. You're going to feel this a little bit more to the outside part of your hips and butt, right? And that left shoulder moving back in rotation. Tough stuff. I'm making it look easy, but I'm a professional. So the next one is the clock exercise. Same setup with the right foot with the toes hanging off the edge. Imagine that clock, 12 o'clock straight in front of you. You're going to bend your right knee, more like a curtsy. Come touch 12 o'clock directly in front of you 4 times. You can see I'm trying to relax those toes. No gripping allowed. Going to 9 o'clock. So by moving your left leg, you're going to be going counterclockwise. Yeah, you can throw this little cool little arm movement in. And then going backwards. It's like walking. Reaching back to 6 o'clock, all the while keeping those toes relaxed. This is an awesome stability stretch for the quad, right? Because the quad is stretching as you bend and reach out. And then moving to 3 o'clock, I've added the right arm up towards the ceiling to create more stability stretch down the entire right side. Again, that's unnecessary if it's too difficult. Just have your arms to your side. Good. Shake it out, adjust your shirt, change sides. Left foot on the book, toes hanging off the edge, going to 12 o'clock, touching and coming back. I would inhale forward and exhale back. This is akin to going downstairs or down the mountain, not up the mountain, right? A lot of knee pain happens because you're not strong in length. Reaching to 3 o'clock with your right leg, inhaling and exhaling. 6 o'clock. There's 4 touches to each section. You could clearly increase the repetition amount on your own, but we're doing this together right now. And then left arm up towards the ceiling and going to 9 o'clock, sort of bending the upper body to the right as you reach your right leg across to your left, behind your other leg. Again, I've broken this down on our Philosophy YouTube channel. So come back or stand comfortably. Take your left hand back on your belly, your right hand onto your chest. We're going to finish the same way we started, with big belly breaths, working that diaphragm muscle by inhaling fully to your belly, and then exhaling all the way out, pulling your belly button as far back as you can on that exhale. Showing this, doing the breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. You want to literally feel like you could blow a breeze across the room by breathing out through the mouth as forcefully as you can. Really get your core activated. Good. Bring your arms down towards your sides. Good. And just completely relax all of the joints in your body. Feel the pressure underneath your feet. Feel the breath running in and out of your nose. And feel the heat and energy you've created. You've just done about a 20-minute stability stretch workout. Give gratitude for you and your body. Thank you, and let's do this again tomorrow.